morning. Look who's with me. It's Matt. What do you do?
Finesse.
Finesse?
Yeah.
What is that?
It's funny, everyone says fitness, but it is actually, if you read it, it's actually finesse. It's just like a... And now everyone started saying fitness, I've just gone with it, but I'm not... Initially, I wasn't a fitness channel. Finesse, it's like ding! I don't know, stuff like... just really things that require finesse. Like really fine drawing.
He's lying, by the way.
Yeah, that is right.
This is Matt, and he's from the UK, and he's here in San Diego, so we decided to record a Mornin Oats. So, we have our oats. He tried team oats for the first time, and you thought
they're really good, man. They're awesome.
I'm glad that you like them. And we have our coffee. This is really cool. Look at this. See that? Mornin Oats. They will be out soon, you guys. These coffee cups will be out soon. I'm really excited about them. Show them your.
Equally, if not, probably more, subjectively, probably more exciting. Morning coats. So there's a little venture I'm working on. Me and a local coat maker. Would you even call it a coat? Mm-hmm. Coat, yeah. Mm-hmm. So like, essentially, I mean, it is quite an intricate process, but you just basically wear it. You get up in the morning, just wear a coat. And then obviously there's different options in terms of as far as coats go. Yeah. I like a nice checked one.
Mm-hmm. I'm excited. I can't wait for them to come out. And hopefully you'll have some like discount codes I'll be able to put.
Yeah, coat. Yeah.
Will you guys be at Body Power probably?
Maybe. I don't know. I'm trying to look for more like coat based expos. I mean, there's so many. It's hard to find. so
many coat-based expos.
Yeah, I mean,
especially in England.
Too many. Yeah, people love, like literally, people go crazy for coats over there. So many coat fans.
It gets ridiculous. But we're not on here to talk about his budding coat business.
What? Sorry.
We're actually. So you guys know that whenever I have somebody that I feel like is interesting, especially that makes YouTube videos on my channel, I kind of just like to interview them and ask them, how did you get to where you are, or what have you been through to get to where you are? So Matt has a pretty interesting story. We were talking about it a little bit right before we started filming. He was telling me, so if you don't know Matt, he is a powerlifter that's really strong, seriously, and he's made a lot of progress in a pretty short amount of time compared to a lot of other people. So that being said, I'm kind of interested. I've always been interested in how he got to powerlifting, but then how he got to filming himself lift and then putting it on YouTube. And he was kind of telling me, you were telling me how the things that you were doing before this that kind of like got you into powerlifting, because you haven't always been a powerlifter.
No. So I used to be, I call it athlete, like you guys call it track and field. So I used to do like long jump and triple jump in track and field, and like I got to quite a high level. Like I jumped for I competed for my country. I did it for a few years, and then when I was quite close to really making a breakthrough, I got like a prolapse disc in my spine. So I couldn't do it anymore, because jumping, like triple jump is like such an unnatural weird thing to do. Like it's super like, your body's like,
it's not.
What are you doing?
Okay, so it's not like something that's normal for your body.
No, it's just like low, like the impact, like it's crazy impact. Anyway, so I was doing that. I injured my back. I couldn't do it anymore. I spent like a few months just being really like depressed and bumming around, because like that was like what I did that like every day.
Yeah, that was like your whole life. Yeah. That would be like if I wasn't able to make YouTube videos. Yeah. Or if I wasn't able to lift, it was like that. So it was that important.
Yeah. Okay. So like after that, I was like super bummed. And
by the way, if we're sweating, it's already 90 degrees.
Yeah, I'm like,
seriously, I'm already, but it's worth it.
I get hot so easy, like, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, so then I kind of bummed around for a bit, and then like obviously I was already like when I was doing like track and field, I'd always go to the gym already. Like of course I was doing
already lifting for that.
Yeah, so it was a lot lighter. It was just kind of speed stuff. So then I just kind of carried on going to the gym. Just I had like a month where I just did like nothing, just bummed around like a loser. Then I started going to the gym, just kind of recreationally. I did that for a while, and it was quite nice. But then like the novelty wore off, you know, like because before I was doing something competitive, and then when you just go into the gym and you have no goals, you just kind of I was just kind of making it up as I went along.
So you weren't like powerlifting yet?
No, I guess it was technically bodybuilding, but really I was just kind of just going to the gym and just doing what I felt like doing, you know. So then I guess like powerlifting was a natural progression, because it's just I'm a really competitive person. I'm quite almost like OCD, like in terms of I love things being measurable. I love like counting stuff like recording my progress. And so powerlifting was like a natural progression, because it is literally like you just doing numbers all the time.
It's one of those things where it's like you get better and you can tell, you can see that. Like that number is going up, that lift is getting stronger because you're lifting more weight.
It's just super objective, like you can't dispute it, you know. So then I started doing that like at the beginning of last year, so like a year and a half ago. And I just loved it like straight away, and then I've just gone from there, man.
So what was it like? So I can only imagine going through, you know what I mean, long jump or triple jump was super important to you, right? And like,
yeah.
What was kind of like going through your head? Like, what got you to keep, like, was there a certain point that you like started to fall in love with powerlifting and you're like, wow, this is what I want to start doing, and this is, you know what I mean? Like, this is what I see myself progressing in and doing well.
Yeah, like I said, it was just like when I stopped doing track and field, it just kind of left a hole, you know, because that I was so super passionate. Like I was getting close to a point where I would be able to stop working and do that like full time, get funded, you know, and, like go to the Olympics and that kind of thing. That was like my goal, you know. Now I was getting to a point where that was like a realistic goal, and then my back went. So at first I was like super annoyed.
What happened?
It was just a progressive thing. So like doing triple jump, you are constantly managing injuries. Like
I've seen. I don't know too much about it, but I've seen people do it. And it looks like
Like
every time you're gonna get hurt.
Yeah, man. Like your joints getting absolutely hammering. So it was just a progressive, like it just gradually, like I'd always get kind of, my back would always hurt all the time, and it just progressively got worse. And then I had a year where I really stepped up and I was training like twice a day, every day, like I was really going for it. And it just, one day like I was doing like a squat session, just light, and like I felt it going. It always did it, and I thought I'd be fine in like 2 or 3 days, but I couldn't walk properly for like 2 weeks. So it was really, really bad. And then I got it diagnosed, and it was like a prolapse disc, so a slip disc. So like in the bottom of my back, like in the lumbar region, I just had a pretty big like bulging disc. So
was there like a moment that you decided in your head that I can't do this anymore? You know what I mean? Like, was there like a day that you were just like, I can't do it?
Yeah, it was really weird. Like, because initially I guess I was kind of in denial. Like I thought, oh, you know, it'll be fine. It will heal up and I'll get back to it. But the problem with triple jump is that you've got to be super committed, you know. Like I had a few years where I was lucky and I didn't get injured at all, and so I felt almost invincible, and I could like just go every time. I was going all out, and like it was fine. And then after I had that, it was in my head, and and that would have, I wouldn't have been the same. I would have just every time I was going for like a jump, I would have had that in the back of my mind.
Exactly. And
I'm the type of person, I don't like, it's all or nothing. There's no point. I don't want to do it like half-heartedly. So I knew I wouldn't be able to do it properly, and I was kind of trying to train a little bit. But every time I tried to just sprinting, I couldn't. Every time I tried to sprint, it just felt, it was like someone was stabbing me in the back. It felt horrible.
And then can't that make things a lot worse too? Because like you're subconsciously you're trying to avoid another injury. So you're maybe when you're sprinting, you're not sprinting normally how you would. You're maybe like shifting things, because then that can end up hurting something else,
absolutely,
right? That happens a lot, right?
Yeah, all the time. Yeah.
So was there? Do you remember a day or like a time in your head that you were just like, it's done? Like I'm done with this.
I guess like maybe like a month or so afterwards. Like I had a couple of weeks where I was just like, yeah, you know, I'll be okay. Then I kept trying to go back and do stuff, and it was the same, breaking down over and over. I was getting like super frustrated because I'd had so many things before, and then it would always be so many times I'd have an injury and I think, oh my god, I'm in so much trouble, and then like a few days later it was absolutely fine. So I just assumed that would be the same thing, and yeah, like it just kept breaking down, and then after a while I just thought, this is stupid, you know. So initially I kind of said, I'll forget about it for a bit. Maybe I'll have like a year where I don't jump, whatever, and then it just
So it kind of like you decided that you weren't gonna jump for a little bit, and then after a while it was just like you could just see that it was never gonna happen.
Yeah.
Okay, and then so you start powerlifting, and then what kind of made you decide that you wanted to start filming it and putting it on video? You know, because that's interesting to me. I'm kind of interested because there's a lot of people that powerlift, not that many people that have pretty successful YouTube channels doing it. So like, what made you decide, I'm gonna start filming this and putting it on YouTube and seeing what people think?
You know, like, I'm quite a weird person. I'm quite like,
I'm quite
like eccentric and like, I don't know. Like, if I'm lifting, like even with like when I was jumping, I used to love it. Like if I had a competition and there was like a big crowd there, I'd like love people like watching me. Like, I don't know, like if I'm lifting or if I was jumping.
I can see you just wearing like a cape for something. Just running in a cape.
To be fair, there was a lot of lycra. Like I have like a wardrobe just full of lycra. But yeah, so like I guess, I don't know, just got like, firstly because I feel like it would be cool to like for people to watch it, like I guess, like from you know, like a vain perspective, but at the same time, like it's really cool just in terms of documenting stuff. Like any kind of, if you train like, you know, really like hard all the time in any sport, it's like documenting it is super important. when you film stuff, that's like so just from the point of just for me going back and looking at videos. Even now, I can look at videos like a year ago and see what I was doing then. And it's so because you forget your memory gets like distorted. Yes, it's so cool to look back and see what I was doing. And then after I started it, it's just super addictive. Like seeing it grow and
seeing it grow, and then getting support from people too. You know what I mean? Like having people reply and say, "Wow, like you've gotten so much like stronger in your lifts," or "You've really," especially when people say like, "You've really helped me by just showing your journey. You've helped me with my journey." That's really cool too.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think I totally agree with that. Like it's just really cool having people like comment and say, "Oh yeah, that's really cool," or like I've done this, and it's just it's awesome. It's really cool. Like, you don't realize how many people like watch stuff and can like relate to that. So yeah, it's super cool.
So to kind of, now that we've heard all that stuff and like what you had to go through, like overcoming the injury and then still like being motivated to go to the gym, would there be like anything like just kind of in this video, would there be like one thing you would say to someone, if you can think of off the top of your head, like say someone that maybe is injured and like really wants to get back into the gym, or was really good at, like you said you were really good at something and now you kind of have to switch gears, like is there anything that you would say to that person?
Yeah, I think like the biggest thing is having goals. Like I think a lot of people don't, like either they're scared or they're not kind of, not even committed, just not, it doesn't really occur to them to do that. So they'll go to the gym or they'll start a new diet and they just kind of do it without really committing to it. I think like it's so important to have goals and have things to aim for. So even like if you're competing, that's ideal. But even if you're not competing, even if it's just right, I want to lose this amount of weight by this time, you know, or I want to be able to achieve this lift or this whatever, any kind of gym-based goal, like. Firstly, because it's just super, like it makes things so much easier. Like when everyone's the same. Like people go to work and they do things, and training can be like the last thing you want to do.
Yeah,
or
definitely.
You get home in the evening and you're just super hungry, or you're super craving like eating like a cake or whatever, and like it's so hard to have the motivation to not do that or to go and do that. And so if you've got that goal and you've got something that you are aiming to, like aspiring to, it makes it like so much easier, and like it makes you accountable as well. You know, like if you say, right, I'm telling everyone I'm going to do this by this date, you have people that are kind of relying on you, so it makes you accountable for that, and then you are far more likely to go and achieve it. Like there's no way I could go and do some of the sessions that I do if I didn't have the goal of competing at whatever I'm doing. Not in a million years could I do that. And so people that bodybuild, there's no way they could diet that hard unless they had that goal or something. And you need to have something. So I think it's whether you just get a friend that you kind of do it with, or you just just tell people, you need to kind of set things and just give yourself like goals and targets, and obviously make them realistic. Like that is super important for sure.
And then my like tip that I would give to anyone that's maybe like struggling with like diet, exercise, anything like that, or like getting motivated again, is like consistency is really important. And you hear that all the time, and it might sound cheesy to you, like consistency is key or whatever, but that's really important. And then another thing I want to say is like, it's okay to mess up, but like don't keep doing the same mistakes that you're doing every time. Like if you make a mistake, always try and learn from it. Like I understand that everyone says like, if you make a mistake, tomorrow's a new day, and that is true. Like don't let it define you, but you have to understand that, like think to yourself, this mistake is to teach me something, and try not to keep making that mistake over and over and over again. Whether it's a diet mistake, you're binging, whether it's a training mistake, you skip the gym because of this, find out why did I skip the gym? Oh, it was because of that. Let's try and fix that. So those would be my tips. But yeah, I really appreciate you coming on to the show. I'm glad that you enjoyed the oats.
Really
almost I mean, I finished mine, and usually people have not eaten any, and you are actually eating really most of them, so I'm pretty proud of you.
I'm also going to have, can you pass me my dessert?
Oh yeah, here you go.
Yeah. So, I'm a big fan of Friskies, but I'm quite a frisky guy, so that will be
the macros are pretty good on it.
Absolutely.
Like, they have really good, just the nutrition that they have in here is really good. Meat byproducts is the first. That's a really good. I mean, for muscle building, meat byproducts.
Meat's good, but meat byproducts. That's just.
And then I really like poultry byproducts as well.
Absolutely.
And then also
moisture,
water sufficient for processing. That's really important. If you guys.
If it's not sufficient, of course.
If it's not sufficient, it's not sufficient for building muscle,
absolutely. Right? So that'll be the. We've given you like advice, but that's the biggest one.
Eat more cat food.
Friskies 4 to 5 times a day.
Yeah, and make sure you get the classic pate. It's the best one.
Yeah. I mean, look at that cat.
Yeah.
Like he is literally so excited. Like so excited
he said
about that.
he knows that he's gonna be making gains with that.
Look at him, massive, yeah.
But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching this video. Thank you, Matt, for coming to the channel and sharing your story. It's not focusing the best in the world right now. Look at it. Just look at it straight in the face. There you go. Now it's probably gonna be out of focusing. Alright, but yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you check out Matt's channel. It'll be the first link in the description. Seriously, you can see that he's ridiculously funny. So go subscribe to him. He's really awesome, and he really does make. You put out like at least 5 videos a week, right?
Yeah, I try like most days. Almost every day.
So
yeah.
It's a good channel. There's always content on it. So thank you guys so much for watching the video. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. There was one other thing that I wanted to say. Oh yeah, look how buff I am.